just gonna get right into it. First step is going to be lightening the hair, and like I said, I'm gonna be doing kind of a ombre, I don't know, make it up as I go along type of thing. So here we go. So you just want to go ahead and mix together your lightening powder, and don't spill it everywhere like I just did. Mix your lightening powder with your cream developer, and you're going to get a mixture. This one is brown, which is weird. They come in like the different types, they have different colors. One time I used the blue one, one time I used the purple one. So here is some of the ombre bundles. Now originally, which I always do this, I said I was going for a certain look, and I had a picture of Beyonce that I was gonna go for. It was like completely blonde with some highlights and some lowlights, but I thought about it and I was kind of too scared to go blonde like that, so I decided to do an ombre style instead. So it's really more like the Rihanna picture rather than the Beyonce picture, but you know what, whatever, who cares. I'm really just making this up as I go along and going with the flow, because yeah. So this longer bundle right here is the one that I started on. So as you can see, it's nice and ombre. It has quite an orangey tint to it, which I think is because I bought the beige Kaleidocolors packet instead of the blue or the purple one. I thought this was the look that I was going for, and I still like it, but I don't know, it looks pretty orange. So just to warn you, that's how it comes out. Maybe I should have got the blue packet or the purple packet instead. I tried to do a better job of actually ombreing it this time, because last time I tried to do an ombre effect, it was really choppy because it was my first try. So I'm learning from my mistakes. So this is kind of a redo of my ombre hair, and I'm not gonna put blue dye over it this time. So yeah. So the bottom part, can you see that? The bottom part's like strawberry blonde, and then it fades to brown, dark brown, and then dark roots. So I mean, it's definitely an ombre, but it's just not as like blondified as I wanted it. It's definitely not really Beyonce at all, which is what I originally said I was gonna do, so I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and get to the good stuff of actually making the U-part wig. I'm starting off by taking my hair down and putting, yes, a plastic grocery bag on my head, and then putting the dome cap on top of that. And the grocery bag is just to protect from any glue that might actually seep through. So I laid my first track in a U shape with an eyeliner line down the middle for a guideline. Then I'm taking these small pieces and we're going to create an invisible part inside of that first track U shape. So I'm using glue for this. Just glue down the little pieces going in the opposite direction of your U shape, so it's going to be perpendicular to that line. And as you line them up, it starts looking like this. If you're completely lost on invisible parts, I suggest you YouTube an invisible part tutorial. So this is what it looks like after I filled in both sides of my invisible part. Some people leave it like this, but I'm actually cutting it open down the middle, so don't worry, some of my real hair will be going down the middle of this. I'm not just using this as my part. You'll see later on in the tutorial. And yes, I know this hair looks extremely orange and pretty crazy at this stage, but I am going to be altering the color of the hair after this because this is just not working for me. So just kind of ignore the hair color for now. I know it looks crazy. And I just like to blast some heat onto the hair after I've glued it. It helps the glue solidify a lot more. So after I get done with the top parting portion of my hair, I'm just gonna clip that up out of the way because I just like to do that part first because it's like the most important, most visible part. So I want to make sure I do that first, then I just clip it out of the way and I start on the rest of my head, which is really easy, just gluing the tracks in straight lines going across my head. Pretty simple. So as you can see, I just got done putting on my first perimeter track, and as you can see, it goes all the way around my head. Then you just continue laying your tracks just like that, and if you have some smaller pieces like I do right here, just go ahead and add those in. Don't forget to use your blow dryer to set the glue nice and strong. Then you take down that clipped up section after you finish laying all of your tracks, and then you can look like a crazy person just like me. This color looks so crazy, but y'all get the idea of how to make the wig, right? You're probably wondering why the whole hair looks orange instead of having dark roots like I showed you, and that's because the top bundle of the hair, I messed up on it and I forgot to leave roots. So the part that does have roots is being covered up by the part that doesn't have roots, so it's making the whole thing look orange. But right now I'm just using the blow dryer to kind of train the hair to go in the right direction and just blowing it into place. I'm gonna go back and fix the whole roots problem here in a second. So now that I'm done putting the hair onto the wig, I'm just taking it off and taking off that plastic bag. It comes right out, and then I'm just showing you the hideous color job that I did. And then I'm just going to put it back on because I want to cut the hair and kind of style it a little bit, put some layers into it, and nothing too fancy because I'm not that good at cutting hair, but basically just getting rid of some of that length that's in the front. So I basically just start in the front, get a section, and then cut in a downward diagonal motion, starting at how short I want it to be and going down to the original length. Okay, so I am back looking ratchet. Yes, my wig is very orange, coppery, not toned. I thought the little packet of whatever you call that stuff, the powder lightener, it was like a 2-in-1 with a toner in it, but obviously either I bought the wrong one because I usually use another kind, or it just really doesn't work that good. I need to go back and actually tone it, even though I thought it was a 2-in-1. So that's why it's like pretty darn orange. Going back over it with a toner, though I have never done that, I assume that's how you get the orange out. I don't have a toner, I'd have to go out and buy that. It looks a lot more orange on camera, actually. I mean, it's orange, but it's still like brownish. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm stupid and I forgot to leave my brown roots low enough. I only made roots that were like this short. I don't know what I was thinking. My roots need to come down to here because as you can see, that's how far my real hair comes down, and I want my real hair to blend in with the color, so I'm gonna make brown roots that match my real hair, that come down to the length of my real hair, which is about where my eyebrow is. I'm not a hairstylist. I don't know what I'm doing clearly. So everything that I do in like every video that I make, every hairstyle that I do, it's like always trial and error. So that's how I figure out stuff. I just try it and I see what happens and I figure out ways to fix it. So that's what I'm doing right now. I need to go back in with some brown dye, fix this part down to here, and then go from there. I am having a leave out so that I have a natural part. I thought about making a full wig with a full bang, therefore none of my hair would be out. But I don't know about having a full wig with a full bang. I've seen that look very, very ratchet. This looks ratchet enough already, so no. Also, another stupid mistake that I did, I accidentally cut off like the bottom 4 inches of the length of the hair whenever I was trimming it and shaping it a little bit. When you bleach the hair, especially on the very ends of the hair, it kind of kills the ends and it might look kind of dry on the ends. So I like to trim it off just a little bit. But once again, I don't know what I was thinking and I cut off like this much of the bottom, so the hair is not as long as it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna go and dye this and then I will be back. So I'm just using some random dark brown dye that I got from the grocery store, and here's the wig. As you can see, I just cut a line down the middle of that invisible part that we made, and that's how my hair can go over the top of it. And the roots look real crazy, so I'm just going back and fixing the roots and making them dark brown. And I just applied the dye to the top layer of the hair because that's really the only layer that's going to be seen. And besides, the under layers look a lot better, so I didn't really need to fix the under layers anyways. So, P.S. this is how I have my hair. I was getting a lot of questions on Instagram asking, okay, well, how are you going to put this on your head? You don't have any hair. Your head is shaved except for the top. Well, good news is all you really need for a U-part wig or a V-part wig, which is how I made mine, you just need a little section on the top of your head. I still have hair that's this long on the top of my head, so that's perfect. So I'm leaving out a little sliver on the top and then just getting the rest of the hair out of the way. I did like the most horriblest chunky cornrow on each side, but when I actually wear it, I will make a better set of braids just to get that hair out of the way and also give me something to anchor my 2 front side clips onto right there. Then you just have your little leave out. When I put the wig on, it goes on like this with this type of opening, and then you just spread your hair over on either side. Since my hair is shorter, it does tend to want to like stick up and not really lay and blend into the wig as good, because I used to have my hair short and I had that problem. The more it grew out, the better it blended in with the wigs that I wore. When your hair is shorter like this, just make sure you straighten it down really good, hairspray it, spritz it, whatever you have to do. Now that I am dyeing the wig to match my hair color on the top, it should blend in pretty seamlessly, and I most likely won't be wearing it bone straight anyways because I just don't really like bone straight hair on me. I need some body, I need some volume, so I will be putting curls into it, and so that also helps kind of hide your leave out when you have kind of a lot going on. It kind of hides your leave out. When you just have it like bone straight and showing, that's when your leave out can look really obvious. So I'm waiting for it to dye to sit on there, just following the instructions on the box, and then I will rinse it out, and then I will let it dry, and then I will try putting it back on and styling it for the final look. I'm thinking about just wearing it kind of orange and seeing how that goes. If it just looks utterly ridiculous, then I will try to go back and tone it, or maybe I'll just dye the whole thing back brown. I don't know, because it was kind of an epic fail, but we're gonna see if it still looks cool orange anyways. And of course, leave your comments down below. As scared as I am to say that, please leave your honest comments, suggestions, tips, and tricks down below to help me out for the next time so I don't butcher it like I did this time. Usually I have better luck than this, but yeah, so that should be pretty much it, and I will talk to you guys later. Stay tuned for the reveal.